Hello and welcome. My name is Carrie, and I am so pleased that you have arrived here. This is a class for third trimester pregnancy. Congratulations, you're in the home stretch, and we're going to stretch your body a little bit, get some kinks out. You might be feeling less energy now than you did in the second trimester. You're slowing down, and we're going to take this nice and slow. I am a hypnobirthing childbirth educator, and if you want to find out more about hypnobirthing, you can check the description below. I have a link to my website where there's more information. So if you have a block or a pillow or a bolster, have that nearby. We're going to be using it for our class today. So get yourself comfortable and we'll begin. So the first pose we're going to come into is on our hands and knees. So taking your knees a little further apart than hip width, having your wrists underneath your shoulders. And we'll just do a few cat-cows here. So as you exhale, rounding your back up towards the ceiling. And then as you inhale, letting your belly sink down towards the floor. Moving back and forth. This will feel really good on your back with all of that extra weight that you're carrying out in front. The back tends to get a little tender. So just moving nice and slow with your breath. Giving baby a little rock like it's in a cradle. Moving back and forth. And as you move here, see if you can slow down your movements, slowing down your breath, getting those breaths to be long and deep. Allowing your breath to release any tightness, any tension. Beautiful. Let's come back into a neutral spine. Take your knees nice and wide, feet together, and we'll sink the hips down towards the heels. So making some space in here for baby. And if you need to, you can take your block or your pillow, maybe stack your fists on top of that block. Allowing your shoulders to relax. Sending your breath all the way down to your baby. So as you get closer and closer to the date of your birth, you might find you're feeling a little more anxious about what's to happen. And this is a great pose to come into if you're ever feeling anxious, feeling like you need to get a little more grounded. Coming into this pose, this is also a great shape to come into if you're still lying in bed. As you're waking up in the morning, just coming into this, letting your nervous system relax here. And then we'll slowly come back up, moving your prop out of the way. We'll come back onto our hands and knees, getting those knees in a little closer, coming back into table position. And we're going to do a little barrel roll here. So we're going to take our rib cage over to the left and then bringing it up towards the ceiling. And then over to the right and back down towards the floor. So we're making like a big circle. Imagine You're scraping the last bits of peanut butter out of the peanut butter jar, taking it nice and slow as you are inhaling, your belly's coming down, and as you exhale, your spine is reaching up. So this is really good for any tension in your back, in your belly. And then we'll take it in the other direction. So taking your rib cage to the right, up to the ceiling, and over to the left and back down. Nice big circle with your torso. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to take our block close to us. If you don't have a block, you can always use a stack of books. But we'll bring the left foot forward, using your block to place your right hand on it. We'll come into a low lunge, making sure the back knee feels okay. If it's feeling a little tender, you can always stack a blanket underneath that right knee. And we'll take the left hand onto the left knee and just gently easing it out towards the left. So coming into a little bit of a lizard pose here, making sure you're not overextending yourself. Remember, you are a little bit more flexible when you're pregnant because of that relaxin hormone. So not going too deep, just deep enough so you can feel a gentle stretch. Taking a breath or two here. Beautiful. Let's slowly bend back, straightening that left leg, maybe bringing your toes up, getting a nice stretch along the hamstrings, and then bending back into that left knee. So we'll just move back and forth here, straightening the left leg, and then bending back into it. Moving with your breath. And settling back into our lizard pose. We'll bring our left hand to the inside of the left foot and gently bring that left foot behind us. We're going to switch sides, so taking your block over to the other side, bringing that right foot up, maybe wiggling it up using your right hand. So having your right hand on the inside of the right foot, letting your right knee relax out. Settling here, making sure the left knee feels okay. Breathing, relaxing. You can even take that right hand onto your right knee just to give it a little more of a stretch. And then we'll slowly straighten out the right leg, maybe bringing your toes up and then bending back into it. Moving with your breath again. Not putting too much pressure on your knee with your hand, maybe more having it up on your thigh. And once more straightening that leg and bringing it back in. We'll bring the hand down to the floor and ease that back leg back behind us. I'm just going to come this way so that you can see me. We're going to take each foot up. And you can even use your block here. We're going to come into our squat. Letting your hips relax, making sure your knees are nice and wide, giving baby lots of room here. Closing your eyes, taking a few moments. Squats are really good for preparing us for labor, childbirth, allowing the hips to open, Breathing here as you exhale, relaxing. And then we'll bring the hands back down towards the floor. We're going to send the hips up, maybe wiggle your feet out a little bit wider so that your feet are on a 45-degree angle. You can move the block out of the way. We'll bring our hands to our thighs and then bringing ourselves up into a goddess pose. So sending your hips down. Knees are in line with your toes, feeling nice and strong in those legs, letting your shoulders relax back so that they're resting just above your hips. Shoulders soft. And then bring your arms up and we'll bend the elbows coming into our true version of goddess pose here. So the ultimate feminine pose. Taking a few moments to breathe. This is a great pose when your children are a little bit older and maybe they're in the terrible twos and they're getting into trouble and you want them to stop. Just come into this pose and they will stop in their tracks. So it's a good one to know about. And then we'll bring our hands back down to our knees and hinging a little bit over the hips. Let's take the right shoulder cross towards that left knee and then back to center and left shoulder to right knee, back to center. Beautiful. Sliding the hands all the way down to the floor. Wiggling your feet back in. We'll come back into our little squat here. Taking a moment, breathing, feeling those hips opening. And then we'll ease our way down onto the floor. Bringing your feet together, letting those knees relax out. Maybe pumping them like little butterfly wings. Beautiful. Then we'll cross the legs if that feels good. If it's not feeling great, you can always have your legs out, open up a little bit, making room for baby. I'm going to share with you a breath that I teach in the HypnoBirthing class. It's called a surge breath, and it's used during the surge or during the contraction. So taking your hands to your belly, to your baby. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe all the way down into our belly, filling it up nice and full so it's expanding out. And then we're going to let our exhale bring our belly back in. So you're breathing all that wonderful oxygen down into your uterus, all the way down into the baby. And as I mentioned, this is done during a contraction or what we call a surge. And we're going to breathe in to the count of 20. And then breathe back out for the count of 20. And the 20 count is not a slow 20, it's a quick 20. But what we want you to do is to count quickly to 20. 20 in, 20 back out. And we're going to do 3 of those. So let's start taking a breath in, taking a breath out. And then we'll begin breathing in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And once more, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 3 or possibly 4 of those is what you will be doing during your contraction or your surge. And if you can keep your focus on that beautiful surge breathing and counting with the breath, then it will help to alleviate any tension or fear that you might be experiencing and will ultimately release any pain that could occur. So that is called the surge breath. And then after the surge breath, we'll come back and let our hands rest on our knees, coming into our calming breath. And the calming breath is where we get the exhale to be twice as long as the inhale. So silently counting the length of your inhale and getting your exhale to be twice as long. So if you're inhaling for the count of 4, you want to exhale for the count of 8. Keeping that breath flowing all the way down to your baby. This will help to relax you and get you ready for the next surge. Beautiful. Let's bring the legs in if they're outstretched. We're going to come into our final shape. So you can use your pillow. We're going to bring that in between our knees. Laying on your left side, it helps with easing any issues in your respiratory system and helps with baby's health. You can have your left arm out and just placing your right hand onto your belly. Relaxing here, pillow in between your knees. Closing your eyes. Coming back into that beautiful calming breath. Getting the exhale to be twice as long as your inhale. Sending your breath all the way down into your belly. Getting your body to come into the healing room, into that place of rest and digest. And you're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. Or if you're ready, you can take your right hand to the floor and bring yourself back up, moving your pillow out of the way. May you all have an easy, comfortable birth. Namaste.